Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Dr. Nathan Templeman and I'm a psychiatrist here in London, Ontario. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the effects of stress as trauma. In every minute of every day, people experience traumatic events. Many of these stressors are experienced by others in similar situations, and based on each person's genetics, personal history, gender, and closeness to the stressor, everyone can react in a different manner. Everybody has a different sensitivity to anxiety, so by no means can we expect the exact same reaction in any two individuals. In this video, we are going to be showing clips of a crash that took place in November of 2016 in the Greater Toronto area. In this crash was the Zhu family, Stephen, the father, his wife Sarah, and their daughter Kristen. I will be interviewing each of these individuals today to see how they're coping with the reaction 2 years post-accident. I will also be interviewing a close family friend who was called a couple of minutes after the accident took place to see what her experience of the accident are at this time as well.
Look out!
Hello? Oh my god. Are you okay? I'll be right there.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Stephen Zhu. I'm 52 and I currently work in a bank.
What happened 2 years ago?
Okay. 2 years ago, my wife was driving and my daughter was in the back seat, and unfortunately, due to the weather conditions, she didn't see the construction and she ended up swerving into it.
What's life like for you since the accident?
Life has been pretty good. I recently just got a promotion at my job at the bank. Unfortunately, my wife doesn't drive anymore, so I'm doing all the driving right now. And my daughter is currently looking to get her license, so hopefully that'll change soon. But I don't think there is any long-term stress.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Sarah Zhu. I'm 49. I used to work at an outlet mall 30 minutes outside of the city. I don't do that anymore though.
What happened 2 years ago?
I was involved in an accident. I had my daughter and my husband in the car and I was driving, and there was a patch of ice that I didn't see when I was driving, and I swerved out of the way to try and go around it, and I ended up hitting a construction zone. The car went into a big open hole, just totaled the car.
What's life like for you since the accident?
I don't know, it was pretty devastating. Sorry. I just, like, I can't get my daughter, I can't get Kristen's yelling my name. I can't get it out of my head sometimes. Yeah, it just keeps replaying in my head, the accident over and over, and it's just like I can't get into cars anymore. Can't drive them at least.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kristen Zhu, and I'm 17 years old. I'm in grade 11 at Leaside High School.
What happened 2 years ago?
So I was driving to hockey practice with my dad and my mom. My mom was in the driver's seat, and she didn't notice the open hole in the road. She swerved to avoid it, and we ended up getting into an accident in some construction. It was really scary. My mom was really shaken up about it, but I'm just glad we were all okay. And I got to ride in an ambulance, which was cool. I had never done that before.
What's life like for you since the accident?
It's been pretty good. Grade 11's hard. I'm trying to get my G2 right now. All of my friends have it, but I can't pass. I failed it twice. They keep telling me I drive too slow on the highway, but I don't want to get into an accident. I have my next test booked for next month though, so we'll see.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Alex Breeden. I'm one of Sarah's best friends, and we went to high school together.
What happened 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I received a phone call that Sarah and her family had been in a terrible car crash. Immediately, it gave me some bad memories of what happened to my brother back in high school when he was in a tragic accident.
What's life like for you since the accident?
Life's been hard. Every time one of my loved ones or my friends gets into a vehicle, I'm afraid that they either won't come home, or they'll just get badly hurt. And it's also hard to meet new people, just because I feel like I can't go through that again, losing someone that I love or watching someone get hurt.
So as you can see from this video, there are many different ways in which people can respond to traumatic events. Stephen remains relatively unaffected by the accident to this date, as he mentions that he has been excelling at work through his job promotion, and he doesn't really have any issues with getting in cars or driving. This is slightly different from the ways in which Sarah and Kristen have responded to the accident, as they've responded in a slightly more negative manner. However, when looking at Stephen's situation from a cultural context, we would actually expect him to be experiencing the most severe stress post-trauma. This is because in North America, parents are primarily responsible for supporting the family, and due to Sarah's inability to work or drive, Stephen has been left with an even greater burden of responsibility. However, his calm response is likely due to other intersectional factors that play a role in mitigating these effects. So as mentioned in the slideshow, gender may also be something to consider when looking at how people cope with trauma. Females are often more likely to react negatively to trauma than males, and this can offer an additional reason as to why Stephen is coping better to the trauma than Sarah is. Sarah, Stephen's wife, has been affected in a different manner from Stephen, as I've mentioned thus far. She is no longer able to drive and even has trouble getting into cars. As a result, Stephen has been doing all the driving for the family since the accident, and this makes it difficult for Sarah to live an autonomous life, as she is unable to travel anywhere on her own. Life for the rest of the family has been more stressful as well, as it puts a strain on Stephen to have the extra burden of driving Sarah everywhere, and he is the only one who can take Kristen to her hockey games. But as I've mentioned before, Stephen seems to be coping quite well with these experiences. Kristen has had some issues that she doesn't really recognize as being related to the trauma, but she's actually experiencing some underlying effects. She mentions that she is more cautious than she should be when she is driving, and this is impairing her ability to pass her G2 test, which is coming up. Alex, who is a close family friend, still has a negative reaction to the accident even though she wasn't in the car or anywhere near the scene when it happened. She likely has a higher baseline sensitivity to more severe post-traumatic stress symptoms due to her past experiences of trauma, making it more likely that she reacts in this way. As she mentions in the interview, she had family members who were in a fatal car accident in high school, and this has had negative consequences for her coping ability, leading to a heightened stress response. To summarize, age, proximity to the trauma, gender, and baseline sensitivity to trauma all have overlapping effects that may play a part in how an individual copes with the traumatic experience. We believe that in order to have an encompassing illustration of the stress response, one must consider all these factors together and realize that everyone's experiences are unique to themselves.